a little trip with me, and hopefully you can see how the hood, suburbs, and Main Street are all connected, not respected. I mean, we network across the globe, cause it's a global market in case you didn't know. And since we all about information flow, let me be the first one to welcome you to Tech Zone with Paul Amadeus Lane. Let's talk tech, cause technology changing the game. It's all good in the hood, it's everywhere. Now let's get to the show, cause we live on air, yeah.
Hello, and welcome to the Tech Zone. I am Paul Amadeus Lane, and it is my honor to be here with you on our show. As you notice, our listeners and viewers who've been watching us for a while, you notice something different. New logo, new color scheme. We actually unveiled it Facebook Live last Thursday. And we're going to do a number of Facebook Live events. We'll be unveiling certain things. You heard about the new features of the show. The little features of the Tech Zone that we're going to be doing are Tech Zone reports. That's going to be due several times during the week. So we're looking forward to that and all the expansion of the show. On our show today, we're going to talk about pinball, arcade. We're going to be talking about live streaming, video streaming, no matter if you're a novice or part of an organization. Our interview that we have coming up in our second segment is really going to highlight how innovation has grown, so now everyone can definitely do this. In our third segment, there's a big arcade expo happening in California. We're going to talk about that. In our first segment, though, we're going to deal with something that no doubt we all deal with. Let's say that you purchase something, and after 31 days, it's cheaper. We know that some stores have a 30-day policy. You can come and get your price match and all that other good stuff. But wouldn't it be nice to even get that after 31 days, 60 days, and 90 days? Well, look no further. I want you to check this out.
People shop, prices drop. That's why I love Earny.
Earny searches for lower prices on stuff you've already bought.
It automatically gets me my money back.
I got a laptop and got $200 back.
I bought a camera, and Earny got me $106 back.
I bought a book, and Earny got me $2.06 back. Best of all, getting Earny is free and fast.
Go to Earny.co right now and register in less than 30 seconds.
And I'm so happy to have with me right now the co-founder and COO of Earny to talk about this great innovation and how they came up with just the idea of doing this. Dory Yona. How you doing, Dory? Good to see you, my friend.
Great to see you, Paul. Thanks for having me over.
It's an honor to have you, my friend. So let's talk about the innovation. When did you guys know you guys wanted to tackle, this project?
I think there was the pivotal moment that a lot of great ideas come to life. And that's when you feel, when it actually happens to you as an entrepreneur, and it hits you and you start scratching your head and like, that shouldn't be right. Something should be different. And so we actually ended up having that kind of pivotal epiphany moment about a year and a few months ago, when actually Earny, before it even existed, occurred an Earny situation. And that's when it kind of hit us as an epiphany or as an idea that this should be something that every consumer should have in their pocket.
I totally agree. When I was doing some research on it and read an article that you guys were featured in, it blew me away. I was like, yeah, we need something like this. Now, were there other organizations or other platforms out there who did something similar and you guys looked at it and say, hey, we can make it a little better? Or are you guys kind of like the first to kind of tackle this?
When we first started out, we did not find any other companies that were trying to tackle or do what we're doing. There were products that may have had similar functionalities in some aspects of what we're doing. But the way, Paul, that we look at it is consumers are constantly being manipulated and taken advantage of by large corporations and by retailers and by their credit card companies, in a sense where these companies are pouring millions and billions of dollars into technology in order to optimize their revenue and their shares of profits from consumers, and no one out there is protecting the consumers. No one is building the technology that will be there to protect the consumers and make sure that they're taken care of. So what we ended up doing is we long story short, it started from a real case situation where we, as founders of a company, moved to San Francisco with a different company about a year and a half ago, and we needed blazers for an event. So we ended up going to Zara, buying blazers, my co-founder and I. I ended up buying a blazer for about $130, and my co-founder thought it was a bit expensive, and he'd borrow one from a friend just for the event. It wasn't worth it for him to buy. And so I ended up buying the blazer, and he borrowed one from a friend. And about 2 months later, while shopping online for a different event, he ended up finding the exact same blazer online for $65 less. And
Wow.
yep, it was 50% off, $65 less. It was a huge sale. And of course, he bought it. He didn't really need it as much, but he bought it to show that he beat me to a better price. And I remember as a consumer, so frustrated, and it didn't make sense. I'm like, why should I pay double on the exact same item? It just didn't make sense to me. And so we had remembered that someone had told us about the Chase Visa price protection policy that they offer on all their credit cards, which pretty much means that if you purchase any item and the price of that item drops, or any other retailer sells the identical item for a better price within usually up to 90 days after your purchase, you're owed the difference. So we remember that, but the fact is that the majority of people don't take advantage of this. A lot of people don't even know that these policies exist. Even if they did know it existed, in terms of consumer behavior, no one goes and looks for the price of an item online after they bought it. They usually forget about it and think about the next purchase. And even if you did find that better price, you'll usually get lost in the paperwork and the cumbersome process. So we had remembered that someone told us about the policy, and we said, you know what, let's try it ourselves. And we went through the very long and inefficient process of trying to claim those $65 back on my blazer that I had bought 2 months earlier. And bottom line, after about a week of emails and phone calls, we were able to get those $65 back. And that's what I was talking about, that kind of epiphany as an entrepreneur, and our wheels started turning. And we said, wow, that is a ridiculous example of one single item that we had purchased, and we by chance found it 2 months later for a better price. What happens if we're able to continuously track every purchase you as a consumer make, monitor the price continuously, and get that money that's owed to you? And so we did some quick market research. We found that from online shopping alone, there's an estimated $50 billion left unclaimed every year in the US alone. That means that's your money, Paul, and my money, Paul, that's left on the table, and hundreds of other millions of Americans that's left on the table every year in the US due to price drops. And that's money that's just unclaimed because we are not aware of these policies, because we are not there tracking those, and because retailers have built the technology that is able to automatically adjust prices and fluctuate prices in a way that takes advantage of us consumers. And so when we sought out to build Earny, we were thinking of the bigger picture. We want to be the advocates for the consumers. We want to give, on the one hand, consumers the confidence to shop and know that they're paying the best price, and also know that they have someone there behind the scenes protecting their purchase. Because like I said, these retailers and these giants are putting hundreds of millions of dollars into technologies to take advantage of us as consumers, but who's looking out for us? Absolutely. And so that's why we built out Earny.
You know what? And I'm glad you guys had this epiphany. When I have epiphanies, they don't come up as good as yours or you guys did over there. But this is amazing, and my mind is still like spinning 1,000 miles a minute. When it comes to all the money that's left on the table, and when one's realized that your company is out there that can help them to do it. We watched some testimonials before I brought you on. I mean, that has to be like they probably say thank you guys. They probably send you guys chocolates and everything, right?
Yeah, we get a lot of very warm thank you letters on our social media. We're the way we're seeing it, we're changing lives and we're changing behavior. We're changing behavior because, like I said, we are really giving consumers the confidence to shop at the brands they love, knowing that someone will be there to watch their back, and then they don't have to price compare and price search and postpone a purchase because they have Earny. But we're really affecting people's lives. We have people that have sent us multiple thank you letters and emails and social media messages that we were able to get them hundreds of dollars back on their Christmas shopping. And because of the power of Earny, and because that price protection can protect you for up to 3 months after your purchase, we have people that have done their Black Friday and Thanksgiving and Christmas and holiday shopping that are today still getting money back. And that's the change we're making. And that's the positive effect that we're making on people's lives. We have users that have signed up to Earny, and the day of sign up, because the way it works is Earny's able to look 90 days back on your past purchases. We've been able to get them $500 on the first day they signed up.
Wow.
So, we're really, really influencing here and making a change. And you know, sometimes it may look like $1 here, $5 there, but you know, every dollar counts today.
Sure does. Sure does. Those nickels and dimes
we're
add
working
up.
hard, all of us, to make ends meet, wherever we're from or whatever job we do. And we really want to make sure that our customers know that Earny's there to protect them. So it might be $1 here, $5 there, but over the year it adds up to a few $100s a year. And that's a lot of money and can make a big change in someone's life.
It sure does. And let's talk about the innovation, behind you guys being able to do this. Let's talk about how you guys built that up to make it to the process that it is today.
Yep. So if you think about it, the way Earny works, it integrates. In order to use Earny or to sign up, you log in with your email account. We've built a very unique technology that is able to connect directly with your Gmail, Microsoft, or Yahoo provider. We cover the rest of the providers like AOL and GoDaddy and Verizon. We cover about 99% of all the email providers. So we've built a unique technology that's able to connect to your email and automatically filter and recognize only the emails that are related to the merchants you shop at. So we will recognize those receipts that come from the merchants that you usually shop at Amazon and Walmart and Best Buy and Target and Nordstrom and so on. We will extract a copy of that receipt automatically. And what happens then is we've built a technology that's able to recognize, based on the receipts that are emailed to your inbox, it's able to extract the information, understand exactly what items you bought, exactly how you paid with that, because like I said, some credit cards offer you this extended price protection of up to 90 days. So we're able to recognize all of that information. Then we've built a very unique price tracking system that is able to crowdsource the different prices that people are paying for the same item across the US. And we found that in multiple cases, people are buying the same item at the same time from different locations in the US and are paying different prices. I can give you an example of the average item on Amazon changes over 8 times per day. So someone could be buying an item now for $50. After an hour, it'll drop to 32, go up to 67, and then level up at 25. And people are paying these $50 prices, even though an hour later it's being sold for 25. So we've built a technology that is able to gather and crowdsource the prices that consumers are paying. We've built a technology that is able to also continuously monitor the prices on the websites. So we are continuously monitoring and recognizing every fluctuation of price. Once Earny recognizes that price drop on an item you purchase, Earny's able to automatically submit a claim on your behalf. So I'll stop and talk about that for a second, because and this is a great example of how the interface works, or the experience, but it's a one-time setup. From then on, any receipt that's emailed to you, Earny will be able to automatically track it, and you'll see it in your Earny feed. And what happens behind the scenes is it's continuously being monitoring, and when we find that lower price, we'll submit the claim. Like I said about price protection, just so you know, as a consumer, price protection, you're getting it from 2 different organizations. You're getting it from the retailers themselves. Almost every major retailer offers you price protection. Usually it's 30 days of protection, meaning if you shopped and the price dropped within 30 days, you're owed the difference from the retailer. But if you shop with a Citibank or Chase credit card, you're actually getting that extra layer of 90 days of protection. So if your protection at the store ended after day 30, then you're covered through your credit card protection. And Earny's able to recognize when the price drop happened and what credit card you used to identify if he's requesting the money from the retailer, if it's within the retailer's policy, or if the retailer's policy is over and the price drop happened day 45, for example, and he's requesting that from Citibank or Chase. So we've built all the technology behind that. So what will happen is you will have an email automatically requesting the price difference for you sent by Earny. And then you will receive a response. Usually it could take hours. It could take a few days where the retailer or Chase or Citi will say, congratulations, we've approved this refund. The money is being transferred back to you.
Wow.
And all that automatically.
I'm like blown away by the integration, which you guys have created over there to make this, a seamless process. Because like you said, in your experience, along with your other partner, was, it's like you guys had to haggle for weeks or so before you got your refund. And that's one thing that I really noticed talking with different individuals who, with their startup companies, you see the level of empathy when it comes to human behavior. You see that because you guys have went through something, you saw a need, you wanted to fix it. And it comes off in your delivery, comes off in the company vision. And you can really sense, Dory, that you guys really want to help us out there. And that's really admirable that you guys are doing that, my friend.
Earny is a real interpretation of us three founders. I mean, it's taking our personalities, our drives, our passions, and bringing it into a personal assistant that is your personal assistant. And what we went through and what we go through and what we would do for ourselves, we want Earny to do for every consumer in America. And so we started in the vertical of commerce. So like, we protect every purchase you make. We'll be expanding later this year to other verticals. Earny will be able to protect your hotels, your car rentals, your flights. From then on, your mobile plans, your insurance, your house insurance, your car insurance, your medical insurance. We want to be there after any payment you make as a consumer. And we want you to know that Earny will be there protecting you against those giants that are becoming smarter and more intelligent with their technology. And the ones that are, really getting the hit for that are us consumers. And so for us, it's really important to create Earny as an ultimate personal assistant that will protect any purchase or any payment ever made by a consumer.
Awesome. And before I let you go, my friend, I just wanted to let our audience know that you're a second generation Silicon Valley, person. Your family started their tech business years ago. How did that kind of shape your journey into the tech field? Being a young person and having your parents have their tech company, how did that kind of mold you?
Yeah, so I was born into an entrepreneurial environment. I live and breathe entrepreneurship from when I remember. My parents relocated to the Silicon Valley at first as part of a relocation for a company. After about 2 or 3 years in their relocation, they decided to open up their own startup, which is an amazing story. They ended up co-founding, both my parents. They were co-founders of a company. They grew it and amazingly did an amazing job with that, which is also an amazing story to see how, as a married couple, they were able to hold a couple life and be founders of a company. So that's an amazing story in itself. That's, just worth mentioning. But I was brought in an entrepreneurial environment. Everything around me was around that. Someone actually told me yesterday that usually the children of entrepreneurs, they usually go to professions. They go to a doctor, a lawyer, something like that. They can't do, they've had enough of that. But I don't know. I guess they did something right with me. It's a passion of mine. I love building companies. I love making a difference and affecting, consumers' lives. And it does something in you that, you wake up in the morning and you're thinking, what can we do next that will, affect the next million consumers in America. And that's a drive that keeps you going. And like you said, if you don't have that drive, or if it's not a real passion of yours, it's hard to continue going. So I think that being brought up in that entrepreneurial environment, having supporting parents that understand that it might be weird to go and try to build something yourself and not take the 9-to-5 job and have that guaranteed workplace, but taking a risk is something that's out of the box, and it's great to have parents that support that and appreciate it. So I'm lucky to have parents that support that. I'm lucky to have a wife that supports that.
Awesome. A supportive wife goes a long way, because my wife supports me, and I tell you, it really makes the journey and the mission a lot better when you have that support. And please let your parents know they have a standing invitation on the Tech Zone if they ever want to come on and share their story. I think it's incredible. I think more people need to hear about that and how they pass down these values onto you again, my friend. So thank you so much. And how can our viewers and listeners out there find out more information about Earny?
So we're available on all platforms. You can register to Earny at earny.co. So earny.co. We're on the App Store. We're on the Google Play store. So you can really register anywhere you like. You can, see your Earny feed from your web and from your mobile. But what's really unique is to understand is that once you're signed up, Earny can continuously work for you behind the scenes. It's a one-time set and forget. From the moment you do that, Earny will be able to track your purchases, track the prices of those items, and automatically submit a claim on your behalf. We have users that have signed up, a few months ago, never made a purchase online or in store, and got the receipt emailed to them for a month or two. And suddenly 2 months later, they get out of nowhere, $50 back from Earny. And so that's really the power of what we've built and what we've created. So just, we always like to say at Earny, happy earnings. And just, we, enjoy.
Absolutely. Make sure you contact Dory and the crew over at Earny. I think this is amazing. It's fantastic. Dory. Why am I calling you Earny? Dory. When the more integrations come out, other formats that you guys with hotels, everything, please come back on and share it with us. I think everyone needs to know just about this great innovation. And I think you guys have hit a home run, a grand slam, you name it, touchdown, alley-oop, slam dunk. You guys hit it off with this innovation right here, my friend. So we love to have you back on.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Paul.
I'd like to thank Dory Yona for joining me from Earny. Wasn't that a great interview? Get some cash back. Win-win situation. They even have a referral program. You want to find out more about it? Go online, or you can hit me up. Email me, paulonwheels.com, or better yet, go to the revamped website, paulamadeuslane.com. Connect with me, ask questions. Yes, we even unveiled the new website last Thursday too. Hey, when we get back, we're going to talk about live streaming video and how a company out there is doing great things. I've even partnered with them. So we're going to talk about that and see what they're going to do in the future. They got a lot of things coming up, so you don't want to miss that. This is the Tech Zone. Paul Amadeus Lane will be back. In the words of Chuck Woolery, say it with me, y'all. 2 and 2. We'll be right back.